I think we can stop recording for now.
Until we start, right?
Yes. Let me give you an example. There was a transaction we were doing, right? And one of the language in the law we saw in the law was that no person can give a guarantee, right, without so and so. The question then becomes, practically getting that guarantee meant that transaction will never close. It was not possible to close that transaction on the base when you go strictly with the language of the law, right? We started looking for way out, started reasoning outside the box. And when we later went back to say, okay, let's do indemnity. Right, to close this deal, let's shun this guarantee but let the guy provide indemnity, right? So these are some of when approaching a deal, you must tell yourself, you must not see it from usually the perspective where you see it when you sit from the other side. What that is from a litigation, when you go for a litigation meetings or when you are in court, right? You must find a way. You must find things that make the transaction to proceed to closing and not things that will frustrate it, right? The guy will tell you that, honestly, I don't like lawyers, but it is inevitable that I would like to hear what they say. But my problem is that what they tell me are mostly things that will frustrate my deals, right? And whenever I'm attending this client's meeting, as much as possible, I go through the documents and ask myself, what is the client's ultimate goal? And what is the best way to ensure that this transaction closes, right? What does this guy wants to achieve? You must always have your mind towards the client's goal and find a way to ensure that transaction closes. That is the way to make money in corporate commercial law. These transactions, I'm telling you, by the time they pay you as the listen, it comes in something crazy. I'm not joking. Some of these deals, as a lawyer, you can get as much as 100 million, 200 million, 50 million, just closing this deal, right? You can't come and tell them that by virtue of section this. I'm not trying to, in certain instances, it is inevitable that the law, based on the provisions of the law, that transaction is dead, right? But you can never be the person to put that nail to that coffin. You must find a way to unlock that transaction. You must find a way to allow that transaction to proceed, right? This is the typical mindset of a corporate commercial lawyer, right? Of course, a corporate commercial lawyer should always be, you must have a good networking skill. This also applies to the other side, right? You get deals. Remember, we are service providers. We don't sell any goods, right? When you come to our law firms, you're not going to see any merchandise. What we sell is our brain. My boss, Mr. Yuli Jemi, they will always tell you that clients will give you work because they like you. In most of the instances, you don't get deals from clients because, hey, you are the best that can do the work. That's a very, very key factor. Make no mistake about it. But I can tell you the truth. And you can also ask yourself, you can also sit back and check yourself, and you will find out that the people that give you work, right, most of the time, they give you the work, not because you are the best, not because you are the only person that can do that work. No, they give you the work because of relationship. They give you the work because of your personality. They give you the work because of your networking skills, right? I remember going to a meeting with a colleague of mine. There was somebody there sitting somewhere there. And the guy told me, hey, Anthony, this guy looks like a promising client. Let me go and chase him. Like joke. The guy just engaged, just sparked a conversation. And let me also say this. When you approach someone, right, always, as much as possible, find a common ground. Once you speak to that person 2 to 3, minutes, right? Find a common ground. There is something you guys share in common. Perhaps you guys, both of you are Catholics, right? And both of you are very serious Catholics. Perhaps both of you are in the same club, and both of you are right. Find something that we keep that conversation going. And to summarize the story, the guy gave that my guy a 20 million naira deal. What's 20 million? It's more than, because it was in dollars, and the deal was so much, right? And that was her, and that was just it. Find your niche, go out there, network. Never you underplay the importance of networking. This is a very, very key skill you should have as a corporate commercial lawyer. Okay. Opportunities in commercial law practice. I'll mention one consultancy role within and outside Nigeria. You will be surprised. You'll be surprised the kind of opportunities that will come your way when you master corporate commercial practice, right? Let me give, I like explaining with an example. Let me give you an example. There was this colleague of mine, a member of the Nigerian Gas Association. I was speaking to him recently, and he told me, hey, Anthony, I'm no longer in Nigeria. I was like, oh, okay, where are you? He told me he's now in Liberia. I was like, Liberia of all places. What are you doing in Liberia? So he told me that he got one consultancy job. So he started telling me about the Liberian oil and gas industry. He told me that in terms of the level of development of the Liberian oil and gas industry, he's going to rate them 10%, that the industry is so small, right? In fact, they will have their first refinery sometime this year or so. Everything about Liberia in terms of oil and gas, they are still scratching the surface, right? And he got an opportunity there. I was paying him, the amount they were paying this guy in dollars was crazy. When you convert it into naira, oh my God, right? And he was able to get this deal because he was good when he was doing his oil and gas practice here in Nigeria, right? There are so much opportunities. There are so much opportunities within and outside Nigeria, right? Some of this, let me tell you, in terms of getting consultancy roles, just make no mistake about this. Many of the countries that surround Nigeria see Nigeria as big brother. And they always come to us in some instances to have an understanding of how our own sector works, so they can replicate that in their own sector. I remember then, sometime how many years ago, when the Ghana oil and gas regulator approached us and was telling us that can we advise them on how they can do so this, that they wanted to understand this from Nigeria, just because we have similar experience, we share common experience. They want to see this from our own perspective, right? And we have to help them to grab their regulations and laws, right, in that regards. And I'm not joking. The amount these guys paid for this job was something else. It ran into millions and millions of dollars, right? Now, in the power sector, where I also play, right? People in Kenya, people in Tanzania, people in Gambia, these people, in some instances, you see them looking for consultants from Nigeria that has comparative, because Nigeria has a comparative history and experience. So they look out for people like us to be able to come in there and help them, right? So, and you can only do this if you are able to hone your skills, if you're able to grow your knowledge, right? You need to grow your knowledge. You need to grow. See, I want you to see this law as a business, right? Other than courtroom practice, look for a niche for yourself. The You have corporate commercial, you have taxation, you have oil and gas, you have power, you have intellectual property, you have technology, fintech. Last week, no, not today. Today is Saturday. Okay, sorry, that was on Tuesday. I had a lunch with a young guy. This guy just left school few years ago, and this guy is into the fintech space. If you know what this guy has been able to create, right, and what he needed a lawyer that will handhold him through the process. And make no mistake, I was very, very convinced that if this guy, the product this guy wants to sell, right, if he goes viral, this guy is going to be one of the richest Nigerians, right? But he wanted a lawyer to handhold him in the process. And for you to handhold him, you must understand fintech. You must understand the industry. You must open your mind to see the opportunities. There are opportunities that exist outside the courtroom. Open your mind to see that, right? And another key opportunity that is open for a corporate commercial lawyer is, one, if you want to run your own business, you are more than qualified, especially when you regularly advise people that are in some of these regulated space where they can't do anything before without having recourse to one legal whatever, right? The more you advise these people, first, what do you call it? What some of these companies, what that does to you is that you understand the operations, you understand what they do, you understand the value chain, you understand how they create their products, and that's a very good way to transition. If you watch very, very closely, you will notice that some of these biggest lawyers you see in Nigeria today, go very closely, you will see them doing one business or the other. The Wengo Ebo days, the Ayulijemi days, some of these big lawyers, you listen, there are businesses they set up by the side, right, which augment whatever income they are earning from law practice. You will be able to function very effectively in that regard if you have mastered the acts of corporate commercial law practice. It will enable you your interaction will be mostly on the business side, right? What you are doing is that you are structuring transactions. The client comes to you and tells you, okay, this is what I want to do. You do your due diligence, help them with transaction structuring, do it this way, do it this way. The more you do this, right? The more you also build knowledge in the event you want to venture towards that space. Now, something happened recently that surprised me. I was discussing with, I went for a meeting in Abuja sometime last week, and I ran into this client. So we started discussing. So the guy, I now checked up on him. Okay, so what are you doing at the moment? So the guy just was telling me some of the businesses, some of the things he has jumped into. So if you are in the power space, you will notice that franchising is one of the biggest or one of the popular trend in the distribution segment of the Nigerian power sector today, right? Due to the issues the discos are having. The discos are learning to franchise some of their licensed areas to third parties to help them come in and provide one's services or the other. And guess what? I have been advising different clients on this franchising for the past 3 or 4 years now. Only for me, when I asked this guy, okay, what are you doing? The guy told me, okay, that he has ventured into franchising, and he told me, oh wow, he told me how much he was earning. He was making from this segment. I was surprised. I was shocked. This guy was earning millions and millions and millions. And then after tax, after the whole expenses, he was raking in, pocketing millions and millions of naira. And I told myself, wow, I have been sitting at the other side, advising clients, do it this way, do it that way. And this is somebody who saw prospect in it and jumped into it, right? So these are some of the things you, when advising clients on, because what you're advising, you're not advising them because things are bad, because they want to go to court with somebody. No, you're advising them on how they can make their transaction work, how they can make that money. And in doing that, you are also learning. You are also understanding the business aspect of law, right? You are understanding the way businessmen think. Understanding the mindset of businessmen is very, very critical. Is very, very critical in this job. Listen, the more you give some of these businessmen solution-oriented advice, the more they come to you, and the more you make so much money, right? So I will encourage us, for those who have not considered or who are still thinking about it. It's a very, very good area to find yourself. It's a very good experience to have, right? And following from that, there's also in-house opportunities. When I mean in-house, I'm talking about healthy companies, blue chip companies. I know if somebody left my office for a blue chip company, if you know how much this guy is taking, right? And how this thing happened was that we put him in forefront to always be advising that client on the client's operations. One day the client told us, hey, please, can this guy, we need to borrow this guy from you guys just for a very short term, 6 months. For 6 months, they told us, please, can we make it 1 year? From 1 year, please, can we make it permanent? Right? You get to get these opportunities if you are that person that stay on the side of commercial deals. You see these guys from the way they think, the way they make their money. You see it from that perspective. Thank you so much. I think, Messi, I'll hand over to you back.
Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate it, Tony. This is amazing. You just downloaded a lot of things. You just gave us all the expos and all that we need. We thank you and we appreciate you. We want to tell you that you are in a special place in our heart as an alumni, and we thank you. And I know that everybody has enjoyed this session. Please, if you have questions, if you're confused about anything, if you want more elucidation, if you want him to explain more, please drop your comments. I will read them out to him and he will answer them. But to give honor to whom honor is due, I like to respect people and to respect fathers. We have in our midst Professor Bukola Akeolasa. Please, we want you to say something. We want you to say something, sir.
Okay, so Bukola is raising his hand.
Yes, sorry, sir. We want you to just say something as a father before we move into the.
Unmute me.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I got this notice I got this webinar invite at a very short notice. And I want to appreciate everybody. Now, I want to really, my comment is simply that we are moving so fast from litigation. And I agree totally, and I've also benefited from what our speaker has said this evening. And though I'm in academics and I do a lot of consultancy services, I know as a fact that these days, if you are not wise as a lawyer, you just turn your LLB certificate and BL to a monument, just be looking at it in the house. So my take is simply this. I agree totally with networking. I agree totally with all this, the fact that we must be a solution provider. And every point Mr. Tony, if I'm correct, has made, and I want it to be, it will be a one-off thing. So we employ the alumni to please continue, maybe quarterly, maybe monthly, as it suits you, to help us, because we have stayed in the dark for so long within the Nigerian legal space. So we want your like, look at the example of the Liberia again. You wouldn't know somebody can just go to Liberia and be making money as a Nigerian lawyer. So if we have not participated, even among ourselves, I've seen people that I'm sure, maybe by reason of their names, they may not be alumni of IMSU like myself, but we can do things together. So thank you very much. I will also be waiting for the questions and the answers to be given, but I want to appreciate you especially. Thank you, Mercy. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Akiola.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you, Prof. God bless you for joining us. Despite your time, your tight schedule, you still joined us. Thank you, sir. Someone asked a question here. Someone asked a question here, and the question is, please, considering the time that's needed to be dedicated to working in the commercial law firm, how can I manage my time to own a business and at the same time work for a commercial law firm? The person is just asking, how can I combine working for a commercial law firm and owning my own business because of the time that is the kind of work that is done in a commercial law firm because of the enormous work. So how can he combine the both, working in a law firm and owning a business? So our guest, please, can you answer that?
Okay, thank you so much for that. I'll answer this in this way. It depends on the nature of the business you are talking about. Are you going to be an active participant in that business or just a passive participant? In other words, you invest and others do the job for you. If you are going to be an active participant in that business, I'm not sure you'll be able to combine both of them successfully. I say this because especially at the lower level, when I mean the people in the 1 to 5, 6, 7 years experience, like who I call the foot soldiers, that are the people that do almost all the work. It will be very, very difficult to work in an active law firm that does corporate commercial and also run a successful business where you are going to be actively involved. If you are going to be passive, in other words, people are doing the show for you, are running the show for you, then it's fine, right? Otherwise, I may suggest you find some of the type of investments that will not demand so much business, that may not demand all your time. For example, you may venture into, I don't know how much the person has. The person may venture into real estate. When I mean real estate, I don't mean by building a house and this. Perhaps you can, some of this Ibejuleki and some of these areas or some of these satellite towns are developing. You may be buying land there, allowing it to appreciate in the next 6 months or so and selling it over time. That may be the business. Because if you're going to do a business whereby your time will be required morning, afternoon, and night, you may find it very difficult to do that.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Another person is saying, I also think lawyers should be more visible online with the solutions they provide. What are your social media handles, Mr. Tony? So, Mr. Tony, what's your take on lawyers being visible online, creating or providing solutions? So what's your take? And also let us know your social media handle.
My social media handle is on the screen. I believe you can see my screen.
Okay, it's on the screen. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what's your take on lawyers being visible online, providing legal solutions?
Okay. There is a line between the rules of professional conduct and what is called advertisement. I don't know where I left law school a long time ago, and I can't even remember where the line is, right? But one thing I will say is that you must showcase your talent for people to know what you do. People will not know you. People may not know you that you are good with, let me just say, solid mineral law, unless they see things in that regard from you. And thank God we are living in the century whereby all these things can be put up online. But in doing so, you may need to find a balance, the way you are going to do that, so that it will not be inferred as if you're advertising. Perhaps your strategy may be writing articles, and most importantly, putting your articles in places where it will get wide circulation. Remember, make no mistake about this. What gives most lawyers money in Nigeria, right, is FDI, or what am I saying? Foreign direct investment. It is foreign capital. Of course, we have good clients here in Nigeria, but what I have found out from experience over the years is that the bulk of the money some of these big lawyers come from foreign clients, right? A foreign client is happy to pay you $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 in a deal. Once the person can see the value, or once you package that deal very well and sell it to the client, right? So find foreign journals and put your article. If you're in the power space, for instance, you have Energy Hub. You have what's the name of this foreign one in US that accepts write-ups from around the world. So essentially, look out there, find places where you can put your write-ups, you can put whatever you do, so that you can get more wider and healthy clients, right? So that's what I would suggest in that regard.
Thank you very much. This is great. Someone else is asking, we all know that the possibility for a litigation lawyer to work alone without working in a law firm. Is it possible to work alone as a commercial lawyer? If so, wouldn't there be a lot of competition? I can't imagine a client choosing me over Templars. The person is saying, in litigation, someone can be man alone, working for himself, working alone, but as a commercial lawyer, can you work alone? And because there are a lot of competition, the person is saying he can't even imagine a client choosing him over Templar. So how can he start? And is it possible to work alone as a commercial lawyer?
Okay, I'm going to share this experience. I don't know whether I have the authority to share that. And this is an experience from my principal, right? So yes. He was practicing in Port Harcourt. And when he was practicing in Port Harcourt, he said the turning point was when one of his friends called him one day to say, please, the friend was asking for advice in relation to maritime law. So he gave the advice. He advised the client, the friend, do it this way, do it that way. After he advised the client, the friend who is a lawyer, he started laughing. My boss, why are you laughing? The guy was laughing and laughing and laughing. He then told him that the person that gave him this instruction, actually, the client that gave him this instruction stays in Port Harcourt. But he told him specifically that Port Harcourt lawyers cannot handle this kind of transaction. And that's why he brought it to him that he's practicing in Lagos. And my boss told my son, that was how he packed his belongings. So this was somebody doing corporate commercial, doing more of litigation, of course. That was how he packed his belongings and came to Lagos. And of course, there was no client. And he told me when he came in 2005, it was still the big names, the Templars, the Aluka and Oyebode, the B&I, the LF, the big names were still there. But he asked himself, what are the innovative ways I can venture into in order to break from this, right? So I don't want to say so many things here because I don't have his authority to share that, but he started great. What he did actually, from there, after he did that, people started, let me just summarize it. Visibility online. He exploited that so much. Visibility, online visibility, writing articles, blasting it. By the time you know it, people started seeing him as an authority in that area. And what he was selling at that time was PPP, public what's it called again? Public-private partnership. That was what he was selling because he also did a master's in that area in US. So that was what he was selling. PPP. Before you know it, the concession, whatever regulatory authority was about to be set up. And the powers that be engaged him to advise on that deal. And that was one of the turning points, right? So what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that for you to crack that wall, every day, keep throwing that stone. Keep throwing that stone on that door. One day the door will give way. Keep throwing the stone. Keep putting those things you write. Keep putting it out there. Subconsciously, people are seeing you as an authority. The more you do it, one day people will come to you and ignore those people you think they are the only people that they can go to. That's what I would advise.
Thank you very much. This is wonderful. At this point, can I invite Informer Ben? Say you have a contribution. Please, can we hear your contribution, please?
Okay. Let me. Okay.
Yeah.
Informer, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Tony. So thank you so very much for this wonderful lecture. In fact, I learned a lot. I joined before you started the session, and I paid particular attention throughout the session. So you really delivered on the job. Thank you for a job well done. And I just want to lend my voice to what you said. We are in a new 21st century law practice. Is not the same as it was maybe when in the 19th century. So we lawyers of the 21st century needs to sit up and make use of tools that are available to us. So we even have better opportunities than some of our seniors who are not technologically savvy. So I just want to encourage us to see how we can leverage technology to build a profitable law practice. There's so much we can do. Even for those who said maybe they're just sole proprietors, you can still do much so long as you know your onions, so long as you are good at what you are doing, you can still get clients who you can service, who will pay you good money. You cannot take away visibility, even online presence in this 21st century law practice. So I saw a question about visibility, RPC, and all that. We try to just try to be on the conservative part of it. RPC did not say that we should not advertise, but there is certain things that can be done. So you can advertise within the ambit of law. In fact, okay, I choose to call it marketing. So you can market yourself by Tony has already mentioned like articles and all that. So when you have to intentionally look out for opportunities that you can bring you to the forefront. Speaking engagement where you can speak and talk about the knowledge that you have, writing legal opinions on some contemporary issues and circulate it so that people can know you and know that you're authority in this field. Also, making your social media handles very visible. Sharing, there are some people who decide to share points on legal issues on a daily basis. By the time you are sharing it, you think maybe nobody is seeing you, but one day, someone would really, the person may not really need your services at that moment, but because you are consistent, you are visible, by the time they need that service, they'll come to you. There's one of the online clients, foreign clients, in fact, the first foreign clients I got some years ago was the person found me online when he was, foreigners and all these people, when they want to invest in Nigeria, want to do things in certain industries about particular things, they also search online to know the key people, especially when they don't have an existing relationship. They will search and know people who are in the area or in the field where they want to venture in. The person was looking as engaging a startup lawyer, and he did some searches online and came across my contact, and that was how he sent me a message both on LinkedIn, Twitter, and all that. And the rest is story. And we had that, and one thing is also getting foreign clients, like Tony said, is you get paid in hard currency. I'm not going to tell you how much they paid for the service, but it was really good money. In fact, still good money compared to Nigeria. Far. In fact, if it were a Nigerian client, the person may not even be able to pay up to 1/10 of what they paid, but they were happy paying it, and that has even started that relationship. Even when they come here in Nigeria, they because of that relationship, you have really gained their confidence. So the aspect I really want to really emphasize is, seeing law as a business. All this noble profession, now who noble profession help? Law is a business, and we have to look at it as a business. When running a business principles apply. So you need to market. If you are selling goods or you are selling products and nobody knows that you are selling goods and products, you will not sell. So we are selling services, and people need to know that you are selling services and need to know that you are able to deliver on these services for them to engage you and pay you for those services. So we can never take away visibility. It's very important, and we can start with little things like social media visibility. RPC does not say that you cannot do social media content creation. In fact, if you look at the website of some of these top law firms, you look at it and you even marvel, and you would you start asking yourself. We just try to look at go to the extreme of being conservative. Being conservative. Let's be open-minded, be innovative. Look for a way to use the law to your own advantage, to use the RPC to your own advantage, instead of trying to, be on the fence. So please, I just want to encourage us, even for those who are practicing outside Lagos, look for the pain point of where you are, that particular location you are, even if you are in Owerri. Their tax practice might not be as complex or as experienced as that of Lagos, but every government, once you are innovative, you can even go to the state government and say, oh, I have ideas on how to make you rake more revenue from tax. They will be willing to listen to you, because it's about money, what they're going to gain. And before that, also, you should invest in training, get the requisite skill. Like someone said earlier, we are moving away, like Prof said, we're moving away from, it's not all about litigation. The future is commercial practice. Litigation will always be there, but there are things that will pay you more than litigation. So let us also look at those areas and look at how we can really position ourselves well to get those opportunities. Thank you again, again, Tony, for
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Informer, for this perspective. I see Irene. Please, can you go ahead, please?
Yes, Irene, yeah.
Irene, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I'm glad I joined. I'm not an alumni.
Yeah.
But I love progressive conversations. I am so excited when I hear lawyers gather and they're looking for how to move on. You know, there's something I found out about law. One of the ways of being known as a lawyer, we cannot advertise ourselves. We can't say I'm the best lawyer in Nigeria, I'm the best at this, but you can productize. Productize. You can turn the thing you do to a product and people will buy. First, who do I want to serve? For instance, you want to serve SMEs, small business and medium enterprises. What is their pain point? What are the products they will need as a lawyer? For instance, instead of saying, I am the best lawyer to help you with your business, I can make a product, create a product that businesses will buy from me. If I have a book or an ebook on something, I can sell my ebook and market it aggressively without running foul of the RPC. So lawyers should productize. Turn your service to a product. If you have knowledge, turn it into a product. It can be a book, it can be a course, something that someone can exchange money for it. So that knowledge sitting in your head, if you don't change it to a product and sell it, you won't be able to make money. So it's not just litigation. It's not every knowledge you have is right, but somebody's looking for that knowledge seriously, somebody's pain point. So I want to say, and about visibility, your timelines, whatever social media you choose is your marketplace. Many people think that being visible is just talking about law. People come to social media to unwind. You need to touch entertainment, you need to touch knowledge, and you need to give them, inspire people. So there are many things you can do as a lawyer to be visible. It's not only just talking about legal opinions. People know you're a lawyer, but you need to draw them in with entertainment so that they can open up to you. Look at stories that people like to hear, inspire people. So there's so much you can do as lawyers. My desire is to teach lawyers how to earn from their knowledge by packaging products and selling to the end users. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
This is powerful. Thank you.
This is wonderful. Yeah. So there's another question before we call it a wrap. Tony, the question is, sir, please, I want to go into corporate and commercial law practice. Where do I start from? Someone is saying, I want to venture into this area. How do I start? Where do I start from? So please, can you answer that question?
Okay. I'm sorry, I may answer it in a very narrow way. I say narrow because I'll answer it from my own personal experience.
Yeah.
I ventured into, if you heard what I said earlier, when I told my story, how corporate commercial found me. It was not a conscious thing from my own part. It was the environment I found myself. I found myself in a place whereby corporate commercial was the highest revenue earner for the firm. When I joined LX, I discovered that this is my personal assessment, I may be wrong, but I discovered that corporate commercial practice was giving the firm 80% of their revenue, while litigation was just bringing 20%. And from my personal experience, I also saw that people in the corporate commercial space were being promoted more than people in the litigation. In terms of promotion, the people in the corporate commercial area were getting more, we are rising faster than their mates in the litigation, because when you come to the firm at that time, I think it's still the same now, corporate commercial sits in a particular place, while litigation, then corporate commercial was using the 7th floor, while litigation was using the 8th floor. And the bulk of the money was coming from the 7th floor, right? So this was what I felt, and because I never knew that area was existing, and because I saw what was coming out from that area, personally, I saw it as an experience, as a conspiracy against me. And I told myself, this conspiracy against me, I must unlock this conspiracy. That was how consciously I started putting myself, started learning, started buying books, started going for trainings, attending CITN classes and the rest of them. So I can also improve my skills. Because I was getting it from transaction, and I was also buying books, also reading up, read before I go to bed. I spend 1 hour or 2 hours, read one chapter, close, right? That was what I was doing. So it was something that I met. So, I'm really happy that someone sat down and thought about it and told herself or himself, let me venture into it. That was not my story, right? So that if you ask me how you can venture into that, I would say start by also looking out for law firms that do corporate commercial, so that you can learn it from experience. I'm not the type that will buy books and read books and wait for the client to come, right? Personally, the way I function is that I'll meet that transaction. When I meet that transaction, then I can also subsequently buy books to know more about it. So I would say start up looking for opportunities in areas or law firms where these things are being done.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you. Another person is saying, are you open to mentoring the younger ones? If yes, I would love to be one of your mentees. That is Khadija Mohammed. Are you open to mentoring the young ones? If yes, I would love to be one of your mentees.
Of course, yes.
Okay.
My social media handles are being displayed. You can reach out in any of them.
Good. So Khadija, take note of the social media handle, email address. His details are there so that you can also reach out to him personally. I don't think we have any other question. I must say that I learned a lot, and I want to thank you, Mr. Tony Ezamama. You have been awesome. You just hit the nail on his head, you just went straight to the point, and the delivery was awesome. I thank everyone who participated, even those who are not part of the alumni. Please, going forward, we'll be having more programs. When you see our flyers, please know that it's from us and join us. I want to thank everyone that participated. I may not be able to mention your names. Some people I don't know, some I know. Thank you very much. We do not take your presence for granted. We want to thank our father, Professor Bukola Akiola, the Dean of Law, Redeemers University, Osun State, for staying till now. Thank you, sir. He loves knowledge, and I'm glad on a short notice, he joined this meeting. It's a privilege. Thank you, Aaron Pepple from Port Harcourt. Thank you for every other person coming in from various states. I may not be able to mention your name, but we are seeing you. Thank you, Majoke Fekumo. Thank you for what you represent, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone, and God bless you. I think we will end at this point. Please, the president of the alumni is here. Please, President, can you just say one or two things before we call it a wrap? President, please.
Hello.
We are hearing you, sir. Yes.
Okay. So sorry that I had to join the meeting a little bit late, but I think with the various contributions that we've made, it's been a very wonderful one, and I just want to thank Tony for giving us an incisive lecture, and as well as a practical. From his practical approach, experience. So I just want to thank Tony, and I also want to thank all those that contributed, the former Ben and the rest of us, and also the dean, professor. I just want to thank everyone, and I believe that subsequent lectures and Zoom meetings like this, more knowledge will be shared, which I believe will be for the betterment and the better practical development of each and every one of us. I just want to thank everyone, and I wish us a very happy weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, and do have a fantastic weekend. Bye.
Please, Tony, before you sign out, it's like our professor wants to say something.
Oh, okay. Okay, Prof, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful night. And honestly, I will reach out and I would love to participate more and more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
That's all I have to say. Thank you, Messi, for always being online, for promoting your own visibility.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. We really appreciate you. We ask for God to give you more wisdom. God bless you.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
night.
Good night, sir.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate